How many times have we shared the after picture without sharing how long the journey was? This is something that if you are willing to fall on your face, you can do it. The question is, are you willing to get back up? My name is Josh, and I'm your push coach. I'm the #1 best-selling author of F Leadership, and for the last 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 entrepreneurs to take ownership of their businesses and create tangible results that have changed their businesses and lives forever. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Your Push Coach. My name is Josh. I'm your push coach. So excited to hang out with you guys for another episode. I'm finally back after what feels like the longest break in the world of wedding planning and wedding doing and being gone to Mexico. I'm back with my co-host Ashley.
He's been living it up without me.
What's up, girl?
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
I'm here with Ashley Buchert. That is Buchert, Buchert. I swear to God, the second you come on an episode, like I just get like that much more excited. I love it. I love it so much. So we have got Ashley a question from the crowd as we're calling it.
I think we all want to know how the wedding went and the honeymoon. I know I haven't talked to you since the honeymoon. I was at the wedding. I will say it was amazing.
Thank you.
But yeah, share all about all the goodness.
What do you want to hear about? Give me.
What was the highlight of your day?
The wedding?
Yes, the wedding day.
Oh, okay. So the highlight was definitely so when we talked about getting married, 1.5, 2 years ago, whatever. I mean, we've been together like 4 years now. We got married on our 4-year anniversary. That's why the wedding was on a Monday.
Yep.
And basically Jenny was like, we've both done this before. Like, let's just elope. Let's just get it. And I was like, no, like I am a community person.
Yeah.
I have to do this in front of my friends and my family. Because like, as you grow older, as you probably know, you have less excuses to get all of the friends and family together. Like we try, but I feel like everyone else is just always busy. No, I have kid stuff. No, I have this stuff. No, I have that stuff. I just like, nope. I don't care if this is like, we have to do this because one, I just want to do it with them. But also it's like it's like the one thing no one can say, sorry, we're busy that weekend.
Right.
All of your friends like kind of have to get together. And so for me, it was just like, me and Jenny are both very spiritual people. So it was like, it's kind of funny. Like afterwards, I was like, I feel like we just had a church service. Like it was not religious in any way, but like the amount of love that was just like in the entire experience, the amount of just like friendship and community. I was actually talking to my buddy Jay Ring, who also works with me, and he's a youth pastor. And I was like, man, I feel like the reason people love church is because of what we just did all weekend long.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It's the community. It's like coming together with people. And I was like, you know what? Maybe like somebody needs to start a church where there's like way less preaching and more of just like people that want to like connect and just like hang out.
Right.
So anyways, that was my favorite thing. Was I really do feel like the whole entire weekend really, because we had a welcome party for close friends. Saturday night at our favorite like underground restaurant cocktail bar. It was awesome. It was so cool.
So cool. First time I'd ever gotten to see that space too.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And then Sunday night we did the reception and then had family over to the house. And then Monday was like all day there setting up music, which I got to play a rock concert at my wedding.
That was pretty cool.
Which was just like another extension. I feel like everything about the weekend was like me and Jenny manifested.
Completely agree.
And I loved it.
Completely agree.
I mean, I cried like 30 times.
I cried. So many different pieces of your ceremony. And then just leading into the actual reception, I was like, so unique, so well-spoken. Oh my gosh. Like kept looking at Brad. I was like, I've cried like 4 times already. We're not even through the ceremony yet. Just beautiful.
It was
All of
awesome.
it was beautiful.
And we didn't have like the traditional minister up at front. We had one of Jenny's best friends share, and then we had one of my best friends, Jay Ring, share, and then my dad, who was a minister, came up and kind of like, and even with him, like we were like, don't bring your typical wedding script up here. We don't want that. I gave him basically like a couple like quotes and said, I just want you to take these and just come up and kind of like from your heart, like, what do these things mean to you?
I think he
And
did.
then he did the official pronouncement. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
He delivered. Yeah. It was great.
It was amazing. And then me and my best friends got to put on a rock show for
Yeah.
the reception.
Like
And
everyone was jumping. I mean, I
I
was
know.
singing the words. My husband knew all of them. I knew like 3, I think, of the 4 or 5 that you played.
Afterwards, so my buddy David, who was playing the bass,
Mhm.
me and him had a band and toured together for like 3 years, where I played guitar and sang, and then he was the other guitar player.
Okay.
And I was like, man, what were we doing trying to write our own music where 30 people stand around and they're just like, yeah, that's pretty cool. When you play songs people know,
yeah.
everyone just goes
Yes.
bananas.
Yes.
Everyone, I was like, that's it. We're starting a casino
connection
band.
piece is there.
We're
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
a casino band. We're going to play at the casino
Can you
every
play at my
weekend.
events? I do a lot of events around Tulsa.
No, for real. Like, we want to.
I was looking
We
for
want to
names.
play more often. We're practicing
Done.
this Sunday.
Okay.
Like, I kid you not.
I'm using you
So
in my
here's the
next
other thing
event.
we did, and you're invited, by the
Okay,
way.
cool.
Every Sunday from now on, because of the wedding weekend, I
Mhm.
just said, guys, like, everyone kept being like, we really need to get together more often. I'm like, yeah, no shit. That's what I've been saying for like 4 years. So every single Sunday at my house, me and the band are going to rehearse at 2.
Okay.
And then at 4:30, it starts friends and family time. And everyone that is in our friend circle is just invited to come over and hang out. I'm going to cook out, and we're going to like, this is what I've learned about business. Once you get the momentum,
Yes.
hold
Yes.
on to it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So like, I'm using that weekend as an opportunity to say, let's stay together while we're excited
Yes.
versus waiting till the next wedding. Like, we're all old. Nobody else is getting married. That's not happening for a while. Right. So we're just going to keep hanging out.
Yeah, I love the idea.
So if you want to come over, it starts this Sunday.
And what a message that plays into like probably what we'll be kind of talking about today too.
Yeah.
And I know we have a guest speaker about to come on, but I think that message plays into business so well, like using that momentum.
Yep.
So
yes, everything's about momentum.
Yeah.
So we do have a guest.
We do.
Let's bring her on. She's been waiting so patiently. Thank you so much. Jennifer is on with us today. How are you, friend?
I'm great. How about you guys?
I'm doing amazing.
I'm doing great.
I mean, Ashley brought me some coffee. So I'm feeling great over here. What can we help you with? What's going on in your business that you need help with?
Well, actually, it does tie in really well with you talking about that momentum, because I'm looking for, going into the second half of the year, some leadership tips that for recovering that lost momentum and excitement with both clients and your team. When you don't have a team that's really performing, but you know that they're capable of it, how do you just get that excitement and momentum back?
Such a good question. And we're just going to keep rocking on wedding. Okay. So this is what I've always said, is the way to get momentum back is just to go back and reflect on how it initially came. Okay. And almost always, if you study business, if you study market trends, it always comes around some type of special event. So for my business, December, January are like my biggest months in the world, and then June, July. And the reason for that is January, there's a global event called New Year, right? Where globally, everyone is supposed to set goals. Globally, everyone is supposed to make something good happen this year. And thankfully, I'm the guy they call when they're ready for that, right? June, July is when all the companies I work with have their annual events during the summer. And they create the hype and momentum that then sends people again looking for someone to work with, which happens to be me. Okay. So if you look at your business, whenever the company does a really good launch, everyone gets excited. Everyone jumps on board, whether it's, the annual event that hopefully we'll get back to next summer, whether it's the quarterly events, whether it's like a really big program. So here's what we all have to do as leaders, okay? We have to fill in the cracks with our own mini launches and mini events, okay? We have to come up with like it's our job to use our creativity or tap into other people we know that maybe are just like better at that and kind of like go off of what they're doing. And we have to say, what could I do in the valleys to keep excitement and energy high as possible? And we also just have to understand, for me, like February is just never gonna be as good of a month as January. Never. Even if I do all of the things in the world, I have to, like, awareness is key. writing a chapter about awareness in my new book that I'm
Okay.
working on right now. Okay. So Jennifer, awareness is key. Okay. Because if you're not aware that it's a valley month, that alone can shoot your confidence. You're like, what did I do? What's wrong with me? I thought everything was going. Like, what's wrong with these people that they like fall off? Like, and like as a leader, the first thing, you just got to be aware that's coming. And there is nothing in the world you can do to keep Sally, Joanne, Martha.
Always the Southern names or something, you know?
There's nothing you can do to keep her from going on summer vacation.
True that.
Like she's going to go. Yep. And if she is not reliant on an income the way you are, like I think I joked about this on the Push Elite call last week that I think you were on, Jennifer, like nobody else is working through their vacation for a $60 commission check.
Yep.
Right? Now, those of us that have full-time incomes, we know we got something a little bit more to protect.
Right.
And sometimes that's why we're more motivated. But we're talking about a lot of people who are low-level earners, which means it's a lot easier for them to like lay it aside for a week or a season.
Yes.
So what we have to do always is number one, have events planned in the slumps. Okay. If you see a slump coming, put together some type of a challenge, something to make things fun, something to make things exciting. One of the things I challenge people a lot to do, especially in months when it's a slump globally for your business, what that means is it's not only harder for you to keep them motivated, usually it's harder for them to make sales, right? Because the reason they're not as motivated is because it happens to be a season where not as many people are purchasing. So it's just easier for them to check out, right? So I highly encourage some type of personal growth or self-love or some type of like inward challenge. Does that make sense? So if it's the hardest season in the world to sell, might not be the best time in the world to say, hey, let's see who can like sell the most this month, because it's just going to be discouraging for everybody, right? Like, how about instead, let's see who will read 10 pages of this personal growth book on how to be a badass every single day. And and as a leader, like, I think that people really respect it when we come and say, hey, here's the thing. I just want to remind you that one of the reasons we're here is to become the best version of ourselves. And as your mentor this month, we're going to keep focusing on business because that never gets pushed to the side. But I want to put the real emphasis on personal growth and finding your purpose and finding your passion and remembering why you do this. And all of a sudden, it kind of removes some of the pressure to try to hit sales goals in a month when it's really hard, but keeps them engaged and excited and keeps the momentum building for when that next surge comes. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does for sure.
Follow-up questions.
Well, just how would you position yourself then to really, as they're starting to gain traction again, capitalize on that and keep that excitement going? So how do you fuel the fire?
Well, for me, I mean, I just always have another event. Always. I plan, like 3 to 6 months out. So I plan for every single year. I know I've got like the big event in January. I've got the big event in like July. But then, as you know, Jennifer, every single month I've got some type of free training or mini workshop. So like, it's just a matter of finding a way to always make it feel like there's something new, when in reality, we're always doing the same thing.
Right.
Because that's the only way to eventually have success, right? And that's why your specific company is constantly launching a new workout program. I've done several of them. There's really only 1 or 2 that are any different. It's just that sometimes we had a live DJ. Sometimes, this time we're using a jump rope. We're not using a jump rope. Those are like miniature hand weights.
I love those.
It's not a jump rope.
But you're right. It keeps it fresh.
But it does keep it fresh. And that's one of the main challenges to consistency. If you read James Clear's book talking about Atomic Habits is the name of the book. And he talks about how basically even when things are going well, we look for something new to do because we just kind of get like bored with it.
Yeah.
And so as a leader, we need to know people get bored. So my job as a leader is to find a way to make it look and feel like it's something new, a different challenge, a different prize, a different name, a different whatever, which you probably do with your 30-day boot camps already. You just have to extend that into the team page and do something similar. And as I teach, of course, as you see people stepping up and doing what they should be doing and actually earning your time, that's when we want to start doing small group calls with them. That's when we want to start doing some one-on-one calls. If it's just one or two people, whatever it is, that's when we want to start snatching them up and spending some more personal time with them to help keep them moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does for sure.
Okay. One last thing that I just want to say is for my own self, I just want to say this for everybody to hear. I use every single slump or peak. Sorry, valley, not peak. Every single valley in kind of what is the market trend. I use every single one of those as motivation to show up when no one else is. Because the more you show up, okay, there's no competition during that season. Okay. So during that season, just remember, if a lot of your people are dropping off, guess what's happening on Instagram?
Right. Everybody else.
Everybody's draw. So in my opinion, the people with the most success establish themselves in the valleys, not in the peaks. And we kind of like to think the opposite, right? Oh, there's a big launch coming up. I'm going all in. I'm going to make this happen. And I do that, but I treat valleys with the same amount of motivation because I see them as actually more important than the peaks, because how I show up and perform in the valley has everything to do with how high my next peak will be. Does that make sense?
It does. Love it.
Thank you for being on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Great chatting with both of you.
Great chatting with you. So let's have an affirmation.
Okay.
Let's have an affirmation. Well, I think I have a couple for this one. Okay. Because this is actually something that's been on my mind the last couple of days, Ashley, because a lot of girls in my leadership group right now are coming with these things saying, hey, my team's kind of like dropping off right now.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is a lot of them are responding to that by dropping off themselves.
Okay.
I'm just like, guys, you can't complain about other people doing that and then do the same thing. There's like you understand, like for me, I just have a lot of grace for people because I try to be self-aware enough to know whatever stupid thing other people are doing, I've done before.
Yeah.
Like I've been that guy. I'm not going to pretend that I'm the guy that's always been perfect. So first thing is leadership is character. Okay. And character is how you show up when you're not feeling like it. Character is how you show up when nobody's watching, when nobody's looking. So the first affirmation is going to be, because I am a leader who leads with character first, I show up on a daily basis, not because other people are there to watch, but because I said I was going to.
Integrity.
I'm going to do what's right, what I believe is the right thing to do to grow my business, not because of the results it's currently giving me, but because of what I said I would do. That's leadership. So that's the first one. Second one is because I know that my next peak is dependent on how I perform in this valley. I'm choosing to show up with the energy and motivation now as I would in a peak. And that's what true performers do. True performers show up in the peaks, in the valleys. It doesn't matter. They're just always there. They're always showing up. And that's why the compound effect works in their favor, is because they keep doing that over and over. All right. Ashley, any final words for us?
It's just amazing. And I actually resonate so much with our guests because I had a text message not 15 minutes before this of one of my members saying, I'm taking the entire summer off. I'll see you in September. And I was like, what? Like, I don't do that. I don't get to do that. But you just have to establish yourself and put yourself in that place. Yeah. It's a real job.
And you just have to know that your season is not anyone else's season. And that's okay. And that's, again, like that's one of the most powerful lessons I ever learned from life coaching, is that it's not my job to push anything I have on other people. It's my job to be here to help them with their goals. Now, it's also okay to create boundaries and say, If we don't have the same goals, then we don't have to do business together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to give my time and energy to anyone who has completely different goals. In fact, that wouldn't be a good investment, right? But what I do need to make sure is that I'm okay with every human on the planet having whatever goal they do have and pursuing whatever path they do pursue.
I love that. Yes.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on this episode. It's so good to have Ashley back. Make sure and tag us on Instagram. I'm Josh Coates _push coach. We have Ashley Buchert. It's just Ashley Buchert, right?
Yeah, just at Ashley Buchert.
Should know that by now,
Ashley
right?
with 2 E's, no Y.
It's been too long of a break. Ashley Buchert, Buchert. Make sure and tag us both on Instagram and let me know how happy you are that Ashley is back on the show. I've missed her. I'm sure you're missed her.
Back.
Love you guys so much. Make sure and drop us a review on iTunes to let everyone know what you're learning over here. We're working on getting some more episodes put up on YouTube. So hopefully by the time you're hearing this, you're also going to have a whole bunch of video options over on YouTube. I love you. I believe in you. Everything you need is already living on the inside, and we'll see you next time.